de mi corazón.
You know, it's interesting if you actually go through and look at the books, because so many of the laws that are already on the books could be applied here. I'm going to look here over at the Chapter 2, Grounds for Revocation of Naturalization here. It says that you can be stripped of your American citizenship, Congressman, if you are a member of a totalitarian party or terrorist organization.
Right.
Also, if you are a member of the Communist Party, it says right here in American law.
Right.
Yet we have a communist who's in charge of the city of New York, who's running cover for ISIS members right now. We have another ISIS member who shot up Old Dominion University, killed an American hero yesterday, and he claimed to be a member of ISIS. We put him in prison. We didn't even deport him. His name was Muhammad Jallah.
Right.
You know, we're not following the laws and the order on the books right now. I mean, if we did, then it'd be hard to really admit so many people from these Muslim and Sharia countries because, well, I mean, based on Western law, Sharia is terrorism. Genital mutilation, child brides, polygamy, legal, capital punishment.
Yep.
For so many different, capital punishment for the words you say, right? Like, this is antithetical to the West. This is antithetical, of course, to our Constitution.
Yeah.
So why don't we do this? You know, why don't we do this? Why was the ISIS terrorist allowed to go shoot up a school yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, as I said yesterday, that guy he's an ISIS terrorist. We should have just taken him out back and shot him. Like, I mean, that's what a normal civilization over history would have done. It's like you were completely working to undermine us, engaging in terrorism. And so we should have shot him. Thank God the ODU students said, screw this guy, we're killing him. I mean, God bless them, seriously. I love how that you put in that FBI and give us I mean, she couldn't really say it,
Take care of the threat,
yeah,
neutralize
exactly.
the threat is what she said.
But God bless him for doing that. This country never should have let that guy out. He should have been executed. But importantly, to the point about denaturalization, yes, Communist Party, yes, affiliation with terrorist group. I would argue there are hundreds of thousands, millions of people in this country that are eligible to be denaturalized and removed, including elected officials. We should do that. We should also amend that statute to make it easier to denaturalize. If you're coming in here and you're operating against our values, by the way, one of the other things you can do is denaturalize if you lied when you came here. So if you're taking an oath when you come in to become a citizen, an LPR, and then take citizenship, if you're lying about where your values are, if you're lying about where your allegiance is, I think that should be grounds for removal. Today, we should denaturalize and remove them from the country. But I think we should step up the statute, make it easier to denaturalize. I think we should denaturalize for communism, terrorism, and lying when you came here. That's what a reasonable country would do if you want to protect its citizenry.
Yeah, I mean, it's already on the books. It's amazing. I want the Pause Act, of course, to get passed. Right. We are hitting the bricks, as hard as we can for the SAVE Act and the Pause Act, but we can look at the existing laws and use those as well, right? Like, you don't have to try and get stuff through a Congress with a 1-seat majority.
And if I make one small point on that, the SAVE Act and the wall that it's hitting in the Senate,
please,
tells you everything you need to know about why we are where we are. That should be like breathing. Republicans should just immediately unite and say, we're going to beat the Democrats with this. We're going to pass this. We can do it. We're not changing the rules. We're not nuking the filibuster. We're just going to make them go earn it and not do what, with all respect, Thune is allowing Murkowski, McConnell, Tillis, and those guys to do. The fact that we have that block that is holding back on something as simple as American citizens voting in American elections and voter ID, which all poll off the charts, tells you why we're in this mess. People like us that have been up in there in the trenches fighting, like last year in the Big Beautiful Bill, there was a bloc that wanted to expand the SIV program. I want you to hear that. Some of us behind the scenes, it never comes out in the news, had to throw our bodies in front of the train and say, no, we will kill the tax cuts. We'll kill the whole bill. You are not going to expand the program. Frankly, you should be cutting it back, but we just held everything at bay to stop where that block of the Republican Party wants to go. And it is a block that has been in control of the Republican Party until the president has been disrupting it, until the Freedom Caucus has been disrupting it, people that came to Washington for change, and the powers that be push back, right? It's the Chamber of Commerce. It's I want cheap labor. It's a lot of the softies in church, like I talked about, who are like, oh, Chip, this is not nice. You're not being fair. We need to allow these people. Jesus would say, come in here. Hold on. Jesus would say, love people who need to be loved. Yes, we should be very mindful of people that are suffering. When you've got a baby on your doorstep, you don't walk away from the baby, but you don't allow that baby to just become an American citizen. You don't invite all of the masses into the world that are third world adherents to a frankly bankrupt religion that wants to undermine the West and not lose your country. It's asinine. And this is what we've been doing, and we got to stop it. And the fact that the SAVE Act can't move tells you what's so broken. God bless the president for pushing it. I'm going to keep fighting. Mike Lee's going to keep fighting. Elon's going to keep fighting. Most of the Freedom Caucus are going to keep fighting. And I'm not going to pass any of their garbage. I'm not voting for their crap. I'm not voting for their stupid little bills. I'm not giving them a rule on some crappy housing bill. None of that stuff until we reclaim sovereignty for the United States.
Yeah, it's like, oh, great, you know, screw over the base one more time. We didn't get mass deportations. We didn't get the arrests of the deep state, and we didn't get any real investigation into anything that happened over the last 4 years. And now we won't get voter ID laws. This is like basic stuff here for any type of Western civilization democracy. And then, but what they're all on board for is pushing some type of like appliance bill and a housing bill.
Yeah.
And they're gonna jump right over that. It is, I'm telling you, man, it's gonna black pill the Republican base so badly.
Well,
there's only so many times you can really run this. It's great to hear that from you, Congressman, that you're just going to like punch back.
Yeah.
At the Senate.
My message is there is a block of us that are saying, hell no, we're not going to just give in to where they are. We're going to keep pushing. We're going to keep shining the light on it. And we're going to make clear. And people shouldn't, you know, we don't want to turn the keys of the kingdom over to the radical Marxists. Show up in November, right? If you got a bad Republican, hold your nose. Well, we'll keep fighting inside the majority. But right now there are primaries underway. Elect good fighters that you know have been there. I've got a runoff coming up on May 26th. ChipRoy.com. Throw me a bone. I'm going to win this race, but I got to have help because I've got a self-funder who's trying to buy the election, who's a trust fund kid, who's never been in the trenches, never had to fight. And we need support to get conservatives elected. And then we got to win in November. So don't go, get off the battlefield because you're frustrated at some Republicans. We're winning. The president's winning. The Freedom Caucus is winning. Conservatives are winning. But it takes time to push these losers out of the Republican Party. Stay with the program and let's go fight and win.
And just a parting shot here, Congressman. It sounds like when you were going through and saying that there are many elected officials who could potentially be denaturalized, especially for lying on their immigration forms, that seemed like a not so veiled shot at Ilhan Omar. Any update on that?
I think there are a number of folks that we need to be looking at, including members of Congress, including certain mayors and others. And I think that our body should be looking at what they did or didn't do and lying, what they've done since, how they've acted, what groups they've affiliated with, whether they've affiliated with terrorist groups. Again, I mentioned my friend Amy Mack and Rare. I think they connected some of the dots publicly that connect. If you go follow the string to the mayor of New York and different groups that have supported him, his wife was celebrating the October 7th attacks and other things that we've seen. I think we need to investigate all of that. We have people who are in power who do not believe in our country. They do not believe in Western civilization, and they have a different agenda than serving the Constitution and the people of this country.
That is never been more apparent, and we thank you, Congressman, for your fight. It's never been more necessary. It's wild how Republicans complain all the time, members of Congress and elected officials. Give us a trifecta. We can't get anything done. We need a trifecta. And then here's 2 trifectas in 8 years for Republicans, and still so little gets done.